In this satisfying video, I'm sharing a story from my life. I hope it inspires you to do better. Stay tuned. The beautiful thing about being young is that the future is so full of possibilities and hope. It's literally a blank slate. It's a blank page. You can write whatever you want on it. When you're young, you can decide whatever you want to do in life. You can become an astronaut. You can become a teacher. You can become a plumber or an architect or a musician. You could make all those choices. All those choices lay in front of you. And that is a wonderful, amazing, marvelous thing. And that's where I was when I was in high school. And that's what I consider being young, being in high school. I had all these choices in front of me. But I realize now, looking back, that I had a fatal mindset. Not a specific choice, but it was a mindset that led to a lot of bad choices. And it's this mindset that I want to tell you about in this short story. This mindset that I'm talking about, this mentality, is one in which you do not take responsibility or ownership for your own decisions and your own choices. And that's where I was at. I was expecting something external, something outside of myself to come and change my life, to come and make the decisions for me in my life. In my case, it was a misplaced faith in God. Now, I'm not saying faith in God is wrong or bad, but my faith was misplaced. And let me explain. I wasn't trying to do what I could do and hope that God would bless me, or pray for Him to bless me in my actions. No, I was doing nothing and expecting God to come and anoint me and send me into a whole new direction in life, to come with a choir of angels in the clouds blasting their horns and telling me I need to go off and do this. That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was expecting. And that's what I mean by a misplaced faith. Now, this may not be your experience. You may not be religious at all. But the point is that I was expecting something outside of myself to make the choices for me. I was literally doing nothing and just waiting for someone to tell me what to do. So what did that look like to me? Well, I did end up choosing a college, fully expecting to be interrupted in that course of events by God. And so I went to a highly prestigious college. I was smart, I was good at math and science, and I got into and accepted into a college, a mechanical engineering school, an engineering college, a university. And so I went there my first semester, and I failed. I flunked. I failed math, I failed science. It was miserable. I think I had like a 1.4 GPA. The only class that I actually passed was PE, I think. Everything else was like a D or an F. I came home that Christmas after my first semester, and I was ready to quit. I was so ready to quit and just do nothing. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was ready to quit school. And I'm so thankful now that my stepfather sat me down and gave me a tough talk. And he said, don't quit. Go back, grit your teeth, and make it happen. And I did go back that next semester. What I ended up doing is I ended up changing majors. But even how I did that was silly. I just looked through the catalog and picked classes that looked interesting to me. And then those classes all fell under the degree of psychology. So I switched majors to psychology. And again, that's not a bad thing if you have a specific purpose and a point and a plan to what you're doing. But I didn't. I just wanted to do something that I enjoyed, that was easy, that I liked. Now, this was a pretty prestigious college known for their engineering schools, for their engineering sections of their university. their psychology section, the psychology college within the university, was very small and very underdeveloped, I guess you could say. And so it wasn't very challenging. There wasn't a lot for me to learn. I mean, I read the books and I learned stuff, but it wasn't a very good preparation for anything else. But that was okay with me because, again, I was fully expecting something outside of me, i.e. God, to come and tell me, okay, Stu, it's time, let's go off and do this. But that never happened to me. He never came in and did anything like that. And so I kept just marking time in college, going to classes, and not planning anything for my future, not taking any responsibility or ownership for what I was doing now and how that would affect me in the future. About my junior year in college, I realized that a psychology degree is good, but all by itself, it's pretty worthless. You can't really make a career out of it. And so to make a career out of psychology, you have to go to graduate school, get a master's, maybe even a doctorate, become a psychologist, become a therapist, something like that. It needs some sort of advanced degree. And I was sick of school. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to keep going. I was done with that. And so I was working at McDonald's, going to college, and I decided to just finish out my degree. And you know what I did after I graduated from college? I went back and worked at McDonald's. Now again, I'm not saying that working at McDonald's itself is a bad thing, but for me, there was no deliberate choice or plan on my part to, I'm going to work at McDonald's and become a manager and become, work my way up and have a career. I could have done that, but I didn't. I was just working at McDonald's, not knowing what else to do with life. And I ended up really floundering, just paddling in water, not getting anywhere because I did not have a plan. I did not take responsibility for my choices. I was waiting for something outside of myself to tell me what I should do. And I want to encourage you, if you're listening to this, do not do what I did. Think about your choices. Think about what you want. And don't wait for something outside of yourself to make that happen, because that's not going to happen. Unless it's a very rare occasion that like in the movies where some crazy event happens that changes your life and you go in a totally different direction. That is not real life. Real life is you deciding, I want this goal that's out there. I want to become XYZ. I want to do this or that. Well, that's way out there and you're way over here. How do you get there? Step by step, planning and choices to make that happen yourself. Take responsibility, take ownership for your own choices, for your own decisions to make it happen. Because it won't just happen. I had the mentality that it would just happen. That somehow, some way, magically, I would get from point A to point Z. But you know what? I didn't. I just floundered around, not having any sort of direction. And I want to encourage you. Think about what you want in life. Think about your desires and what you care about. And think about the gap between where you are now to where you want to be, and make choices and decisions and take ownership to get you yourself from here to there. That's a mistake that I made, a mistake in my mentality that I still regret. I still am trying to figure out a way to get from point A to point B because I never learned to take responsibility and ownership of my own actions and choices. So I just want to encourage you that if you do that, if you can take that responsibility and that ownership, then you can make your life better. You can make your life more satisfying. And your tomorrow will be better than your today. Content in this video was licensed by other YouTubers as Creative Commons. If you own any of the content in this video and did not agree to share this content under Creative Commons, please contact me. I have also provided a list of source channels below.